program for all and sundry.
Welcome back. The program is Coast to Coast, and tonight we are looking at the 8th Assembly of the Kogi State House of Assembly a year after. Like I said before, the Kogi State House of Assembly is the legislative arm of government in the state. It is a unicameral legislative with 25 members elected from the 21 local government areas of the state. 4 local government areas with considerably larger population are delineated into 2 constituencies each to give equal representation, making the number of legislators in the House to be 25. The fundamental functions of the Assembly are to enact new laws, amend or repeal existing laws, and oversight of the executive. The Speaker of the Kogi State 8th Assembly is Right Honorable Aliyu Umar Yusuf, and of course the Assembly itself was inaugurated on the 6th of June 2023. As they celebrate 1 year in office, what are their achievements and challenges so far? And what should the people of Kogi State expect in years ahead? This is our focus tonight on Coast to Coast. And I have with me to discuss this vital issue, by my immediate right, Honorable Dr. Abrazak Suleiman is the majority leader, Kogi State House of Assembly. Sir, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, sir.
And in the middle is a known and popular face on television, Idris Miliki, Executive Director, Conscience for Human Rights and Conflict Resolution. Sir, you are welcome to the studio.
It's a pleasure to be back here. Good evening, viewers.
And on my far right, of course, the known person, former commissioner in the state, Bode Ogumola Prince, Minority Whip, State House of Assembly, here in Lokoja, Kogi State. Sir, you are welcome to the studio.
Good evening, viewers. Happy to be here.
Dr. Abrazak, maybe we should start this way. The 8th Assembly, how far so far?
Good evening, viewers. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much. Yes, 1 year carrying out legislative functions. It has been very good. We give glory to God Almighty. Yes. 1 year in the Kogi State House of Assembly has been very, very interesting. Yes. Yes, we've been able to achieve a lot, even though there's still more to achieve. We've been able to give a good representation of people that elected us into the offices, and been able to carry out our various oversight functions of the ministry that various assembly members were actually saddled with responsibility to oversee their activities. Then in terms of representation, yes, we were in touch with our people at grassroots, and we're happy to be here also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good representation of the people that elected them, and of course, carrying out their duties as expected. Former Commissioner, sir, and Bode Ogumola Prince, Minority Whip. Sir, what do you have to add to what Dr. has said?
Thank you very much once again. It's been an interesting route, and some of us who have the executive background, we are catching up and trying to learn fast. Making law is not a tea party, especially laws that will have effects and promote the cordial relationship of our people in Kogi State. And that's exactly what we are doing. So it's been so far so well. By the grace of God, I know we'll continue to build on what we currently have. And by the end of the day, Kogais will definitely know that the 8th Assembly is an assembly to be reckoned with.
Kogais will definitely know that 8th Assembly will be an assembly to be reckoned with. Miliki, you are watching from outside because you have been the 26th member long before now. For 16 or more years, you have been in the assembly. So how will you describe the 1 year of this 8th Assembly?
I think let me first of all congratulate them.
Yeah.
In some cases, a 1 year old baby is still sucking breast. While in some cases, in many cases, 1-year-old baby have stopped sucking the mother's breast. Can we congratulate you at least for the fact that you are celebrating 1 year? And I want to congratulate you using this medium to congratulate the 25th members of the Assembly. And then specifically the Honorable Speaker that have led the Assembly to in the last 1 year. That we have not seen rancor. They have behaved like husband and wife, and they may have their internal challenges or crisis. But we that are at the gate, watching both in and out, have not seen anyone. That is number one, in my own background. For us that have had the privilege to work with different assemblies, like you said, I've been in the assembly for the past 16 years, not because I'm a staff or because I was elected. And I pick my name, my title as the only unelected 26 members. We have watched and we have seen some level of improvement. Fundamentally, if you see the way and manner the assembly was left in the 7th assembly, we are talking of an atmosphere where you do your job. I think what we have witnessed in the last 1 year is a great improvement. When you enter the assembly today, you cannot compare it to what we had in the last 20 years. So I give them kudos in that aspect. Because in assessing an institution, there are parameters of assessment. You have to look at several things that you need to say that will make you to say good or bad of that assembly. Again, for those of us who do a lot of advocacy on public hearing, we have had an opportunity to participate in their public hearing. I know you may be getting there. That is about the public participation and the level of civil society engagement. So I think for me, I want to say so far, it is not a 419 or it is not F9, if we have to say so. So I think we can say that there is a lot of improvement. And the Speaker promised us, those of us who engage them, that he said, which is very important, we shall do something different in this assembly. And I think we have witnessed some level of difference compared to the previous ones. Particularly the immediate assembly.
Yes, it's just 1 year and they have started doing something different. And talking about doing something different, Dr. Abrazak, what has been the success of the assembly in the last 1 year?
Thank you very much. Yes, my introduction, we've achieved a lot even though there's still much to achieve. Yes, in terms of successes, consider the number of bills that will pass into law, and not just bills, the quality of those bills that are live impacting one. Yes, we worked on a lot of oversight functions that has actually kept some agencies and the people to man those agencies to be on their toes. Yes, on the our representation, we've seen members going to their various constituency to gather information on what to do and the kind of laws and the motions that actually have a positive impact on their life. Yes, we've achieved a lot, yes, in the past 1 year, even though we are not where we want to be. But there's still hope, and I will pray that before the next coming years, when we'll be marking our 2 years in the anniversary in the office, yes, the Kogi will be proud that they have elected people in the 8th Assembly.
So the 8th Assembly is highly promising, and for the people of Kogi State, it's a time to leap. My former commissioner, any challenge or challenges? If yes, how is the Assembly confronting them towards achieving its goals?
Thank you once more. Definitely there are challenges. I just mentioned one when I was making my introductions. I said some of us are learning how to make laws for the first time. And that itself is a challenge. But one fundamental thing that I want to bring to our notice is that we are united with one voice under the leadership of the Speaker. For example, I'm a minority in the House, coming from another party, from the majority party. But when we meet and discuss and chat a way forward, nobody is thinking that one person is from another party. And because we are united and we are seeing things from the perspective that our people who sent us here will be proud of us. Nobody, none of us, we go into research we asking questions. We are voted to come and represent the people. That is exactly what we are doing. When my brother Miliki was talking now, there are stories. We have stories of people who took over from caucuses here and there, nocturnal meetings. The 8th Assembly is not like that. Under the able leadership of the Speaker, we are one, we are united, and our aim, singular aim, is to foster unity so that people of Kogi State will enjoy us. And that is exactly what we are doing for them.
Of course, unity is key in fostering development in any society. And of course, when you are united, there's hope for the people of Kogi State for a better representation. Dr. Abdulrazak Suleiman, how many bills so far passed, and which of them is most significant to the Assembly members?
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so far, so good. We've been able to pass 21 bills into law. They have been assented by His Excellency, our leader, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Adozapelu, before the expiration of his tenure in January. And presently now we have more 8 bills that are ready, that when we resume, sure we are working on it, we'll have been through with them last week because of the strike issue that we are not able to resume plenary on Tuesday. So all in all now we have 21 bills that is passed, assented to by His Excellency, and we still have 8 on ground now that immediately will resume this very week that we're going into by Monday tomorrow. Yes, we'll do the final touching, the third and the final hearing of the bills, and then we'll be ready for His Excellency to assent to them.
My former commissioner, which of them is significant to you, to the Assembly members, and of course, meeting the yearning needs of the people of Kogi State?
Thank you once again, Solomon. These are going to be laws meant for the state.
Okay.
They are all very equally important. If you want me to pick one, I will be selfish, because what I will pick may be different from what Miliki would think is the best. But like I said, I can assure you that, honestly speaking, there are bills that are going to have far-reaching effects on our survival as a state. They are all very, in my own view, all are adequately representative enough.
Miliki, assess those bills.
Well, you see, laws that are made by Parliament, no matter the perspective at which you are looking at it, has its own significance one way or the other. So it will not be fair for us to think that a particular bill that has been passed is more important, because the A and BC bills is addressing specific thematic areas. So I think let's give all the bills that have been passed assented to. It's about the implementation, which has to do with the executive. Because now, if the Parliament has made their own bill, that is a bill at that level. When it is assented to, it becomes an act. Who implements it? It is gone beyond the parliamentarians. So I think what we need to say is that if we have 21 bills in the last 1 year that have been passed and assented to, it's about we need to now face the implementation of such bills. So I won't be able to say or willing to say a particular bill is more important. If I'm to even comment that there's 2 bills that is coming up now, that to me, that's a part of the job I do, are very crucial to Kogi State. But we have not gotten there yet. We'll get there, and we'll be willing, now that some of us are back, to collaborate with them. Having Japa, because of the last assembly, we cannot side on the fact that we also have our own observations and disappointment in the 7th assembly. That's the bitter truth. Having worked there for 16 years, we decided to live there. But now when we sought some level of development, some level of open door policy, we decided to come. They are here, they know me. If they have done anything that I think is not important, or that will move Kogi State forward as an institution that represents the people, we also say it. But I think 1 year, like I said, is still relatively small. But I think we are seeing some level of improvement. And all of us collectively need to support the assembly to move forward. So let's not look at any specific bill, but let them continue to pass bill that can have meaningful impact in the life of people of Kogi State, and then those who reside in Kogi State.
Yes, they have started very well, and it is expected of the people of Kogi State to support them so that they can succeed in office. Coast to Coast will continue shortly after this time out. Please don't go away.
Since decades to this new chapter, we have been working to create that community of informed citizens through the provision of news at 360 angles from Kogi State, national, and from the global scenes. Learning from experiences, especially as posed by the global coronavirus pandemic, we are now here to serve you even better as we present to you a unique point of views,
unreported news,
to the unbroken news from our own communities, Nigeria, and the world at large through the program
Weekend Panorama.
Oh yes, it is a wave of new events that is more than just news, with in-depth analysis from and around the 21 local government of Kogi State about our dynamic environment,
education,
politics,
commerce,
culture,
sports,
to all other issues of national and global interest.
Join us live every Saturday, 7 to 7:30 p.m.
on your national television, the Nigerian Television Authority, Lokoja.
Very important issue. Family is also part and parcel of the problem.
Administration excellence to play its role. If you make a preparation for others to function,
You want to manage it well.
Don't wait to be told. Join the numerous viewer of our Sunday program Coast to Coast, live on NTA Lokoja at 7 p.m. It is a Sunday tonic, so revealing, fascinating, and detailed. You wish it never ends. Coast to Coast, a thought-provoking and inspiring program for all and sundry.
Welcome back. The program is still Coast to Coast, and the topic of discussion for this week is the 8th Assembly in Kogi State, a year after. And I have with me in the studio by my immediate right, Abrazak Suleiman, Majority Leader of the Kogi State House of Assembly. And in the middle is Idris Miliki, Executive Director, Conscience for Human Rights and Conflict Resolution. And by my far right, Bode Ogumola Prince, Minority Whip, Kogi State House of Assembly. Dr. Abrazak Suleiman, public participation is key in a democratic governance. How does the 8th Assembly encourage public participation?
Thank you very much. Yes, in short, let me first of all appreciate the leader of the 8th Kogi State Assembly, Right Honorable Aliyu Yusuf Umar. Yes, it's part of our public engagement policy that when we resume after our inauguration, that whatever we're going to do here will be based on largely public opinion, especially the citizens of Kogi State. All the bills that have come to the state Kogi State Assembly will follow the due processes and all the requirements in making sure that the bill actually follow all the processes needed to follow. Yes, we've been able to actually seek the opinions of people, the stakeholders of the state in all our activities, even in budget preparation of His Excellency in the last administration. Even we have a public hearing on it, of where we invite all the civil society organizations to come and scrutinize the budget before the State Assembly, and we've actually been able to take some of their opinions and the observation they raise, of which it goes a long way in making some little changes that are needed to be done. In the bills that have passed, all the 21 bills that have passed and assented to by His Excellency, have actually gone through public participation by way of engaging the civil society organization and all the stakeholders that might actually be concerned about those bills. Yes, the 8th here, Kogi Citizen Assembly has actually been enjoying the participation of all the stakeholders in the state, and we want to use this period to appreciate them, the civil society organization, the various government agencies, and parastatals that have actually been there for us when we needed some guidance. Exactly.
Former Commissioners.
Thank you very much once again. I'm happy. I'm calling Miliki again. He just mentioned to you now that he's back to the assembly, and that the last 7th assembly, he japa.
Yes.
He has seen something good in this assembly, and that is with us, and we are gaining from his experience. See, there is no such thing as experience. If you don't know it, you have to learn. And with people like them, we are learning and learning very fast. Honestly speaking, that is just the truth. If any bill will come for public hearing, and almost all of them are always represented, and they will go through it together. And normally, like the elders will say, 2 good sets are better than one. And from our discussions and interactions, best will always come out of it. So honestly speaking, like my leader just said now, we must be sincerely grateful to the civil society organizations, because they have seen something good in us under the able leadership of our Right Honorable Speaker, and that they have all taken us as one indivisible entity. They are ready to work with us. They are ready to show us the way. They want, because they know it. They've been there, and they are guiding us through. Honestly speaking, like I said, it's been 1 year so good. And honestly speaking, another 1 year will definitely get better.
Miliki, you were about to talk about something related to public participation in governance, of course.
Yes, you see, there's something good about Parliament that makes them different from executive. It is only in the Parliament globally, but if you have to come to Nigeria, that you watch their proceeding. It is not in secrecy. You cannot go to executive. Thank God we have a former commissioner here, who will know where they are discussing the everything in government house. But in the Parliament, you will sit down at the gallery, and that's why they have executive session. That is the first public participation, to watch your representative, to see the level of input and contribution individually. You will know their weakness, you know where they excel. And you cannot know it all. Making law is something very fundamental. Somebody read Surveyor, somebody read Agric, and he or she has been elected to the assembly to come and make laws. You can see that person need to learn fast. Again, what also different from the Parliament is the fact that even if they write and give you, you must go there to read. Because if you are not elected, you cannot participate in the plenary. So you can find out that a Parliament is something that, if you look at the history of Parliament globally, is something that is very unique. It encourages people's public input. And like I said, the Speaker is not here. I don't know him before. I got to know him when he collected his certificate of return. And I said, we are going to meet in the assembly. He said, Miliki, we are waiting for you. Now we have seen that there are some level of improvement. All they need to do is to consolidate. And so we have been there. And I remember that civil society organized a 2-day retreat for them. With our own resources, we have to put in a proposal under situation room, which I'm the contact person there. But Ingrid led that particular project. Under my able friend and colleagues, Hamzat Aliu, that for us to look for money internationally and come and organize a retreat, it's because we believe in them. We did it before, but we have to stop such a thing. So I think public participation has been encouraging, and they themselves knew by bringing experts from diverse backgrounds, they are also learning. At the end of the day, we have a law that all of us have partially accepted. Because if you don't support the Parliament to make good law for you, and they make law, rightly or wrongly, we must obey that law if it is assented to. That is the fundamental of our Parliament. So we must continue to support Parliament to make good laws for the good of the society. So I think, to me, they are not doing badly.
Dr.
We
Brazak.
pray for them, they will not debate anyway.
Amen. Amen.
Dr. Brazak Suleiman, how cordial is the relationship between the Assembly and the Executive, particularly working with two executives in the last 1 year?
Thank you very much. Yes, the relationship has been very cordial and very, very encouraging. Yes, we spent just 7 months with the former governor, our leader, His Excellency Elijah Bello, before the expiration of his tenure.
Yes.
Yes, and we've been able to work with him and know the policies that he has, even though his tenure was winding down. And it was during his tenure that we were able to pass those bills and we were able to assent it to them. Yes, we are there to represent our people, to carry out oversight functions, to make law, repeal the existing ones, or enact a new law. Yes, and all those laws that we were able to actually work on is because of the relationship that exists between the executive and the state legislature that will have this relationship, and it's been very okay. Yes, working with two executive governors, it has been very, very, very good. Yes, and so lucky enough for the state that the governor, the past and the immediate, were actually in the same party, and the governor handed over handed over to somebody that was actually part of his own cabinet. So it was not that difficult in catching up with him also, because even though when he was the Auditor General for local government, yes, we've been able to even work with him during that period before he resigned. Yes, because some of our committee members were actually carrying out oversight functions on the agency that he was overseeing, and the relationship has been very cordial even before he became governor. And when he also actually come into power, to even make it a very understanding one, it was the budget that will pass years that is still working.
Okay.
Yes, because the former governor presented the budget last year, December, and he assented to it. So when he comes now, he's still working on that budget which is still the same blueprint that he's still working on, even though he has his own agenda and a lot of policy that he wants to introduce to the state. But working with two executive governors has been very interesting and encouraging. Yes.
Former Commissioner, talking about oversight function now is another important function of the Assembly. How far and how well? Particularly, don't forget, two executives.
Thank you very much. Once again, let me just add a little bit that basically our function is making law and oversight. Make good laws for the state. Check if the laws are being followed. The relationship will be good and will continue to be good because everybody is minding his business. You make a law, it is for the executive to execute. It is when you want to go and do another person's job that wahala will come. I don't know if you understand what I'm telling you. So, we make a law, decide it to law. It is for us to now follow. It is your money as executive. But there are rules and regulations guiding the spending of that money. It is the rules and regulations that we look at. How you spend the money, just show it to us. I want to build this bridge, I want to build this house, and we look at it and we say, okay, go ahead. Then we follow up to say, you said you want to build bridge. Have you built it? If everybody is minding his business, wallahi, there will be no wahala. It is when you want to make law, you want to go and execute law, that problem will come. And we are minding our business under the able leadership of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, at least as it is today. Honestly speaking, like I said, it's been a wonderful experience. We gained a lot. The governor who inaugurated us finished his term. handed over to another person, the President Governor, His Excellency Odudo. And in my own view, he's doing perfectly well. And just like my brother Miliki said now, he says so far the assembly is doing well. I don't want to rate ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's better for us to leave it for an outsider to say, yes, these people, you are doing this. And we have listening ears. We are close to them. We are getting the feedback because we don't want to derail. We are in a hurry for the state to develop. And it is in making good laws that can make the state develop. Honestly speaking, by the end of the day, I think most of us will be proud that we are a member of the 8th Assembly.
Well, before I go to this, we left out something that is very fundamental.
Okay.
And I'm surprised the 2 honorable members here did not mention it. We have 2 gentlewomen.
No, I still have it.
Maybe when we get there, I want to speak because I'm a man who loves women. And if in this 7th and 8th assembly we have 2 women and one is a deputy speaker,
yes,
we cannot leave them out. So maybe we should wait till when we get there. But in terms of oversight function, it's also a legal issue. Because if you look at budget, where you make appropriation, it's a different level. When the executive presents, like I always let them know, whatever anybody absolutely is presenting to the assembly is a draft. Whether it is any law or governor or by judiciary, it is the legal right of the assembly to make amendment. So when you now pass the appropriation law or bill and it is assented to, you have to periodically go back to say, we said you want to buy this handset at 100,000. How much was released to you? Who are the contractors? It is only when you go to site that you are able to see the project ongoing, whether there are a quality of it, and that's why they break into committees. The job of legislators is not only done in the chambers. By having committees, by having public hearing, are part of legislative procedures. And I think to me, in that area, I will still want to let them know, for us, they have a great issues where the informations are no more available. Because when you visit and there are no media coverage, to be able to say, okay, that road going from Meme Bridge to Welcome to Lokoja, has the committee on that work, has it gone there? Have they performed oversight function to the local government as an assembly? Because we cannot pamper them without telling them where they think after 1 year, where they are now trying to leave the breast now and to start working up and down, that they need to do that is very important. So in the area of oversight function, I think that area cannot be said to have been improved compared to public hearing. Public hearing has been excellent, but I think in the area of public, we are not to follow them, it's not our duty to follow them, but the reports of the public hearing have to be laid on the table, and then we can be able to see it. And there are segments that is very key. So they are there now, they are stabilizing, and they may also have challenges in doing that, because you cannot carry your private car, for instance. They need to have vehicle to do that. And now one person can also be serving in more than one committee. So I think those are areas, I think we'll be going to recommendations now as we wind down to say, this area you have done well, but this area you need to improve on that particular area. So fundamentally, oversight function is a legitimate one. And I want to say clearly here that oversight function creates problems in most cases within the executive and the legislators. When the legislator who make appropriation decide to say we want to visit site, we want to invite certain commissioners to come and give us briefing, they will say they want to probe them. They are not probing anybody. They are just doing their legal right. And I want to support the assembly to make sure that from time to time, even when they are on recess, they can, because of oversight function, and go on recess to say in the next 1 month, we are going to travel to the 21 local government to see what is happening. Now that we don't even have elected local government councils there, it is still part of their function to supervise, to make law for local government. So those areas, we may not have time to discuss that one, maybe subsequently. Issue of local government issue is fundamental, and it's under the purview of the state assembly to perform oversight function on the 21 local government. It's very, very fundamental. I'm passionate about what is happening in local government. You can see that our daddy Emiloko now, he has taken the state governor to Supreme Court on the issue in local government. So oversight function, please, they should try and improve on it and bring their report back to the plenary for us to know what is happening.
Just to add to what Miliki has said, it is true that we are doing oversight functions. It is equally true that every member has submitted reports. The leadership of the House, under the able leadership of the Right Honourable Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and the Majority Leader, they are studying it. By the end of the day, the next few days, I'm sure that maybe through my office as the spokesperson for the Assembly, will now lay it before the civil society organization. We are doing greatly, honestly speaking. People are really out because we are interested in knowing if what you have budgeted for ABC, you have spent it for ABC. If it's what you say you do for Z, you are doing it for Z. So in the next few days, weeks, I'm sure the report will be ready because the leadership of the House is studying the report from various committees. This is what we did in the last 1 year. We want to even assess ourselves. Then we'll put it in public domain. Miliki, you will get the report very soon.
So as we wind up, Dr. Abrazak, you have women in the house. What's the relationship like? In 1 second.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have 2 women. Honorable Comfort, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker from Ibaji local government. Yes, and we have Honorable Ishaya Otayo from the Jimu local government. Yes, they've been very wonderful. And you know, say no women, no nation. Yes, they've been very wonderful in carrying out their work, and they will be working very, 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 very good together as a colleague, as a family in the 8th Kogi State Assembly. Yes, thank you.
The Deputy Speaker is the member of the House, while Ishaya is the baby of the House.
All right.
They are carrying everybody along.
In the next 1 year, where should Kogi Assembly be?
By the special grace of God, we want to do better. We want to listen to people, we want people to correct us, we want the best for the state, we will make the best of laws, and we are hoping that when I come back here to celebrate my 2nd anniversary, people will clap for us.
Yes, and additionally, in the next 1 year, by God's grace, when we'll be 2 years in office, we'll also make sure that most of the laws that we've passed will follow it up for the implementation of those laws, because some of them are very good laws that is going to be life-changing, that will transform Kogi State to economic hub of this country. So we'd like to follow it up and see to the execution of those laws.
Please, I want to appeal to the Assembly to put their satellite on the local government. That's all.
That's our package tonight. I want to believe that you have heard and you must have taken note of some of the achievements and where they hope to take Kogi State to in the next 1 year. Dr. Abrazak Suleiman, Majority Leader, thanks for being part of this program. Idris Miliki, Executive Director, Conscience for Human Rights and Conflict Resolution. We are proud to have you on the program.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And my former Commissioner, Bode Ogumola Prince, Minority Whip, State House of Assembly, Kogi State. Sir, thank you for honoring us.
It's my pleasure. I'll always be here.
Coast to Coast will be back, same time, same station next week. I am Solomon Aide. Bye for now.